So good afternoon to all of you. In this session, we will discuss in detail regarding synthesis of heterocyclic compounds. Here our focus is on 5-membered heterocycles. So in the 5-membered heterocycles, we will see furan, thiophene and pyrrole. Okay. So till today, so what we have seen in heterocyclic chemistry is introduction, nomenclature, and physicochemical properties, and also we had a detailed discussion on the aromaticity. Okay, so we know something about the heterocycles now. We are familiarized with the heterocycles. Now our objective is to find out synthetic methods used for obtaining 5-membered heterocyclic rings. Okay, so before entering into the synthesis of heterocycles, I'll give you a few tips and tricks or few principles based on which we can design the synthesis of heterocyclic compounds. Okay, so let's say here we have, so this is pyrrole, this is this is furan, and this one is thiophene. Okay, so these are the three very important heterocycle rings that we have in 5-membered rings. And if you saturate the ring, then pyrrolidine, tetrahydrofuran, and tetrahydrothiophene. So these are the rings that will come. So these are aromatic and these are aliphatic. Okay. So now, how to synthesize these molecules? In this discussion, we will focus on the aromatic rings only, but we will also include the aliphatic molecules in the discussion. Okay, so how shall we go ahead in constructing these heterocyclic rings? Okay, so here I'll try to simplify the problem. So here we have a heteroatom, it's a ring. So this is the basic ring structure. Okay, so how many bonds do we have to construct this ring? We have a C single bond C, we have a C double bond C, and we have CX bond. X can be nitrogen, oxygen, or sulfur. Okay, so one is C single bond C, the second one is C double bond C, and then CX bond. X is a heteroatom. Okay, so let's say in case of X, C X bonds, let's say if it is CN bond, this is nothing but an amine. If it is a CO, this is ether. And CSC, because this is a ring structure, so if you see this entire structure, this is thioether. Okay, thioether. So before entering into the actual synthetic protocols, let's see on what basis the synthetic protocols can be designed. On what basis they can be designed. Let's say if you see this ether over here, let's say in case of no furan, ether linkage is there between the two carbons. Between these two carbons, we have ether linkage. How can you synthesize ether? How can you synthesize ether? We have one named reaction is there for ether synthesis. Can any one of you tell me what is the named reaction that we have for ether synthesis? So in case of Williamson's ether synthesis, an alkanoate and alkyl halide will give you ROR. So this is the way how ether synthesis can be done. Ether synthesis can be done. Now, how can we extend this discussion? One second. R O R dash. Okay. So then, how can we extend this knowledge to obtain aromatic compound like this furan? Let's say we needed ether group OH. We needed ether group, so we can have on one side alcohol, another side a nucleophile. We can also have OH group. So if you dehydrate, you will get a furan. If you dehydrate, you will get a furan. It is as simple as that. So now, depending on that, okay, so what we have seen so far, how to construct the RXR bond. RXR bond by using something like ROH plus R dash OH or R dash X will give you RO R dash. Okay, so here we have ether linkage or amine, so we can use this type of strategy. If it is furan, we can go ahead with the OH group. Let's say R dash Cl will give you via nucleophilic substitution reaction a secondary amine is uptime. So in the same way, you can also have RSH plus R dash X should give you RS R dash thioether. Okay, so this is the way how the bond can be made. The second important bond that we have to make is regarding C single bond C as well as C double bond C. How can we make these bonds? Let's say if you take C single bond C, you can make this by bringing together an electrophilic carbon and a nucleophilic carbon. So we do have certain functional groups in our organic chemistry. We have already gone through this subject in aldehydes and ketones chemistry or carbonyl chemistry. Okay, so we needed carbon which is electrophilic, we needed carbon that is nucleophilic. Okay, so how can we generate? There are certain common precursors are there. If we can understand that concept of nucleophilicity and electrophilicity on carbon and how to generate them, then it will be easy for us to decipher a synthetic protocol or also to understand the synthetic protocols. So here, I hope you know this structure. R C double bond O CH2R. Okay, so this is a simple ketone. Because carbonyl carbon is polarized, so this will induce negative inductive effect. Negative inductive effect. So thereby, the alpha carbon we have over here will become relatively positively charged. So it will have a tendency to donate a proton. Donate a proton. So if it donates a proton, it will become a negatively charged species. Okay, so this type of situation is what we call it as activated methylene groups. These are what we call them as activated methylene groups. So in the presence of very strong bases, okay, so it can form a carbanion like this. Okay, so this will go through enolization. So this is what we call it as enol formation. Enol formation, or maybe you might have already got the idea of keto enol tautomerism. Keto enol tautomerism, where the proton gets exchanged between oxygen as well as this carbon. So one of the proton is mobilized. So there is every possibility that the proton can be removed from the system. So in that way, by using a base, we can generate a carbanion over here like this. So we are generating a nucleophile. We are generating a nucleophile. How we are able to do that? We added one electron withdrawing group over here. So thereby we are able to generate this. So electron withdrawing groups can be COOH, simple carbonyl group, or cyanide, or nitro group. Okay, if we have any one of these groups over here, we can generate a negatively charged species over here. So thereby we can have the nucleophilic carbon that is needed for forming a bond. Okay, so friends, I am telling you the secrets of forming a bond. Okay, and also the rules that we have behind designing synthesis of an organic compound. If you are able to understand this, you need not mug up any of the synthesis of heterocycles or carbocycles. Okay, please be patient and focus on what I am explaining. Okay, if you get any doubt, please raise your voice. Absolutely no problem. Disturb me at any point. So here, in this way, we can generate a nucleophilic carbon. And whenever we need an electrophile, we needed positively charged carbon. So what are all the species where we can have positive charge on carbon? So for example, we have carbonyl carbon where positive charge is always there on the carbonyl carbon. Another one is C triple bond N. Triple bond N, where this carbon shall bear positive charge. In the same way, okay, so in this case also the carbon will bear positive charge delta plus. Okay, so among these three, cyanide as well as this carbonyl carbon are very popular, very popular. In another way, generation of an electrophilic carbon is done through conjugated double bonds, alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl carbon. So in alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl carbon, the beta carbon shall bear positive charge. Okay, so the beta carbon will share positive charge. Why it is happening like that? Because in alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl systems, you will have a possibility of ketone tautomerism type, or otherwise resonance structures are possible. So this carbon, beta carbon, will be stripped of the electron density. So that's the reason why there is every possibility that on the beta carbon, you will always have the positive charge. So in this way, on one side we need a carbanion, on another side we need a carbocation. If we bring these two things together, then there is a possibility of bond formation. Okay, so this is the basic rule behind designing synthesis for the heterocyclic compounds. Okay, so there is a possibility that enols can be generated from ketone containing a CH2 in the next side. So this carbonyl carbon can be protected by using acetal formation. It's a very simple and reversible reaction. The next possibility is, in heterocyclic chemistry especially, we need to understand one more chemistry, that is what we call it as enamine chemistry. Enamine. Okay, so when we have a carbonyl carbon, then when it reacts with amine, normally when a carbonyl carbon reacts with NH2 or NH2, it will lead to formation of amine. Okay, amine. But when we have a secondary amine, because this is a primary amine, let's say when we have secondary amines like this, then what will happen? It cannot form an amine, stable amine, because nitrogen's valence is exceeded, so nitrogen shall bear a positive charge. So in order to relieve its stress, it will go to enamine position. Enamine position. Okay. So whenever in the heterocycle, whenever we have this type of fragment, if it is present, like in case of pyrrole, we have it like this. Okay, if this type of a setup is needed, then you can opt for a reaction like enamine formation. Enamine formation. Okay, so in this way, this is the way how we try to design a synthetic protocol. So to give you a little bit of clarity and also to simplify the problem, for heterocyclic compound, for synthesizing heterocyclic compounds, as I told you, let's say in the 5-membered rings itself, and the thiophene. Okay, so you can always have substitutions on this ring. Okay, so here to obtain these type of structures, we have some common building blocks are there. Building blocks like carboxylic acids, amides, amidins, urea, guanidine, beta ketones, beta diketones, beta ketoesters like ethyl acetoacetate are used very regularly. So for sulfur containing building blocks, especially sulfur containing, we use thioketones, thiols, and thioethers. So whenever we need sulfur to be incorporated, we can take the corresponding oxygen containing compound and treat it with P2S5, or we have one more reagent, we call it as Lewison's reagent, so that oxygen is replaced by sulfur, so corresponding oxygen sulfur containing compounds are produced. So these are the common building blocks that we have. Okay, so friends, I hope you are able to understand what I am saying. These are all the basics behind designing synthesis of an organic compound, including heterocycles. So in heterocyclic synthesis, what exactly is needed? We need to build CO bond formation or CN bond formation or CS bond formation through amines, enamines, acetals, enols, enol ethers. Okay, and CC bond formation usually go via enols, enolates, and enamines. If I use these terms, they may appear like you may feel like Greek and Latin. But if I say Claisen condensation, okay, how do Claisen condensation happens? You simply take RCHO and then RC double bond O CH3 R dash. If these two are made to react with each other in the presence of a base, then what you will get, RC double bond O R. Okay, so here the double bond formation is happening via reaction of this aldehyde carbonyl with CH3. So this is the activated methyl group, and this is the carbon. So here these are the logics behind synthesis of heterocyclic compounds. Okay, so now whatever I am saying, okay, so they are applicable to 5-membered, 3-membered, 4-membered, 6-membered, or 7-membered heterocyclic rings. Okay, these are the basic rules, basic thinking process. Now, general strategies. Okay, so these are what we call them as general strategies for synthesis of heterocyclic compounds. Is here in case of 5-membered rings. Okay, in case of 5-membered rings. So here if you see clearly, if this 5-membered ring is available already in nature, we would not need, okay, so designing a synthesis for this, but that is not the case. It is not available. So it has to be synthesized from scratch. Okay, so how can you do that? You have to simplify the structure by breaking the bonds, so one of them is 4+1 strategy. I am discussing about 5-membered rings. 5-membered rings. Okay, so here in simple, so here one strategy is already explained to you, where if you break a bond, whenever you break a bond, you have to keep plus on one side and minus on another side. So let's say if you keep plus over here and here, minus and minus, then how it is possible? Let's say I use furan for this disconnection. What is this bond? This is an ether bond. Okay, this is a simple ether bond. How can you make an ether bond? You can have OH and OH. Let's say we have OH on this side, OH on this side also. Then if you do simple dehydration minus H2O, you would definitely get the corresponding furan. But what is this functional group? This is C double bond C OH. C double bond C OH. Enol. Okay. And if you write it in a different way, it is almost like keto-enol type of tautomerism. CH2 C double bond OH. Okay, so both are same or not? This is a keto type of form. Carbonyl group is there, though it is an aldehyde, because keto enol tautomerism is a household name for us. Okay, it's a very common term that we use. So it means that we have a carbonyl carbon next to CH2. So thereby it is possible to go for keto-enol kind of tautomerism. So if we need here an enol and keto are the same. Now double bond O, double bond OH. Okay, so what is this compound? CHO, CH2, CH2, CHO. Sorry, CHO. What is this compound? This is succinaldehyde. Yes or no? What is this compound? Two aldehydes in a distance of 2 carbons. Okay, this is succinaldehyde. If you take succinaldehyde and then if you go for dehydration, you will definitely get the required product. Are you able to understand what I am saying? So here what I mean to say is, when you are doing, okay, if you wanted to have furan, okay, you can do one thing, that is you break this bond so that you can get a starting material. How can you do that? Ether can be formed by dehydrating 2 alcohols. It is possible. So you can presume that this bond can be formed by dehydrating 2 hydroxy groups on either side of this bond compound. So this is actually an enol. This is an enol. This is also an enol. It is equal to an enol is equal to keto. Okay, in appropriate outside conditions, you will get the required compound. Okay, aldehyde and aldehyde. So what is the condition that is needed? Basic condition. In basic condition, you will have enolization. Okay, enolization of this particular bond is possible, and after that you can do dehydration. You simply heat it so that the 2 hydroxy groups will join together, and after losing a water molecule, an ether bond is formed. So this is the way. And in another way, you can have OH here and then a halogen over here, a halogen over here. It is also a possibility. So this type of a compound, if it is available, so how can you get this? CHO, CH2, CH2, sorry, CH, double bond, C, ClH. So something like this. So this is not really easy. So this is more appropriate compound. So this is what we call it as, we call them as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1,4 diketo compounds. Okay, so for generation of the 5-membered heterocyclic ring, especially furan type, 1,4 diketo compounds are going to be immensely useful to us. Okay, so here if we don't add any other chemical and if you simply dehydrate it, we will directly get the furan. Let's say if we change the strategy slightly to obtain here pyrrole. So here, what is the minor change that we are doing? We have N here, and then we wanted to disconnect here as well as here. So here means, let's say on one side only we have the disconnection on the NH, and on another side we have OH. A nucleophile is needed over here. Okay, so minus water, you should be getting this compound. What is this compound? This is an enamine. This is an enamine. Let's say here you put R instead of H. We will put R here. This is an enamine. How can you get an enamine? Just now we have seen. How can you get an enamine? You can have double bond O plus R NH2. And on this side, we have the enol only. So on this side, we have carbonyl group and NH2. If it is there, it is fine. So let's say if we have this is equal to CHO plus NH2R. Okay. So if you take this compound and instead of directly heating, if you directly heat it, you will get furan. But if you heat it in the presence of appropriate primary amine, you will end up in having pyrrole. Okay, so that is the strategy here. And for thiophene, you need not do anything. So here we follow the same strategy as furan, but in the dehydration pathway, we also add P2S5. Or Lewison's reagent is better. Lewison's reagent will help you replace oxygen in thiophene, the oxygen in furan with thiophene. Okay, so that is the way. In case of 5-membered rings, just to give you the way how you have to extend your thought process, I am giving you one example here. Let's say if you wanted to prepare 6-membered ring, you simply can break over here so that you can construct the pyridine ring by using the same kind of a strategy. The next strategy is 3+2 strategy. So in 3+2 strategy, we break the molecule into 2. Okay, so 3 atoms on one side and 2 atoms on another side. So whenever we break, on one side we'll keep positive charge, on another side we keep negative charge. So we always try to keep negative charge on the heteroatom. Then only you will be able to get a reasonable starting material. Okay, so you either keep plus and minus, so that minus and plus. Okay, so like this you will be disconnecting. For example, Some of the starting materials which will agree with this type of a strategy are, so you can have halogen, and in this side we can have enamines, and this one is a alpha ketoamines, and diketo compounds where we have positive charge and positive charge, and this is also an enamine, and here positive charge and positive charge can be there in this type of moieties. So when we have enamine, nitrogen is electron rich, and that reflects in the alpha beta over here also. So minus and minus. If we need minus and plus, we have amine. So here minus charge is there because carbonyl carbon is always polarized, and delta plus is over there. Okay. So if we have diketo compounds like this, at the carbonyl carbon, you will always have positive charge. Okay. And in case of 6-membered rings, you can have no, the 3+3 strategy. We will discuss about this one in the 6-membered rings, but this will give you a little bit of opportunity to extend your thinking. Whatever you have learned, you can apply in this way. Okay. So friends, so far whatever we have seen are the what I can say, they are the key principles behind designing synthesis of heterocyclic compounds. To design synthesis of heterocyclic compound, we need to know only 6 type of chemical reactions. One is COC bond formation, CC bond formation, C double bond C formation. So these are the 3. In each one of the case, you can have minus and plus on either side of the reagent. So that's the reason why 6 types of reactions. To give you further example, for ethers or amines or oxygen, you will have, let's say, amine synthesis, ether synthesis, thioether synthesis. Okay, so these are the 3 reactions that you have to study. So once my lecture is over, so you can go back and then see that in your organic chemistry book, you please refresh your knowledge on amine synthesis, ether synthesis, and thioether synthesis. And here C single bond C formation, C double bond C formation. So here I suggest you to please see the chemistry of carbonyl carbon, aldehydes and ketones, aldehydes and ketone chemistry. Their reactions are very, very important. In C bond formation, I suggest all of you to please see addition reactions like Michael addition reaction. Second one is addition across C double bond O, C double bond C, C triple bond C, and C double bond N, C triple bond N. Wherever addition reactions are there, so through addition reactions, C single bond C is construct all the time in heterocyclic chemistry. Now, so friends, now we are entering into our actual topic of discussion for today. So that is furan. Okay, furan ring is a very important and ubiquitous, almost ubiquitous ring as far as the drugs are concerned. So here we are dealing with the aromatic ring or furan ring. So that's the reason why I am mentioning over here some of the drug examples, drugs that contain furans. So this is cefuroxime, an antibiotic, cephalosporin. This is rofecoxib, a COX-2 enzyme inhibitor, anti-inflammatory compound. And here we have furazolidone. Gram-negative bacteria can be killed, and diarrhea, during diarrhea, this drug is prescribed. Dantrolene, cholinergic receptor modulator. Ranitidine, an anti-ulcer drug. Okay, so all these are very, very popular, very, very important drug molecules. So this shows the importance of furan ring as far as medicinal chemistry is concerned. And to give you further information, the antiviral drugs used for HIV, anti-cancer molecules, which comes under nucleoside category. Nucleoside means in case of nucleic acid, you will have, let us say, adenosine. Adenine will be there. It is connected to ribose, and then it is connected to phosphate. What is ribose? Ribose stays in furanose form. Okay, so here you have the base, here you have the phosphate and oxygen and oxygen. So what is this ring? This is a furan ring, tetrahydrofuran ring. Okay, so that is it. So this heterocyclic ring is so popular and one of the oldest pharmacophore to be integrated, oldest heterocycle to be integrated into drug molecules. Okay, so now let us see some of the named reactions that we have for synthesis of furans and try to understand these synthesis with the knowledge that we have gained in the first few slides, the strategy. So furans were first obtained by dehydration of natural molecules. Okay, furan was actually obtained by destructive distillation of starchy materials. So here if you take xylose, which is obtained from pentosanes, xylose, and if you heat it in the presence of an acid, it will undergo a series of dehydration reactions to ultimately give you furfuran. So this is one of the oldest and very popular method that we have still being used in the industry. Okay, so this is actually an extension to whatever is over here. So what is the method here? The first reaction, take pentosanes, after hydrolysis you will get xylose. Xylose upon dehydration in the presence of acid at 100 degrees centigrade, you will get furfuran. Next one is Pol-Nor synthesis. The second reaction is Pol-Nor synthesis. So here, what is the strategy we are using here? 4+1 strategy, where the furan is disconnected at the heteroatom. Okay, so here 1,4 diketo compound upon heating, upon dehydration in the presence of acidic catalyst and heating, you will get respect to furan. So how actually it is happening? As I told you, acidic environment will catalyze enol formation over here. Keto-enol formation is a dynamic process. Tautomerism is a dynamic process. So it is the compound will flip from keto form to enol form. It's a dynamic process. Okay, so some of the enolization, once the enol is formed, in case of enol, one second, I'll clear everything. Okay, so once the enol is formed, this is something like an alcohol. Okay, so alcohols are nucleophiles. So in carbonyl carbon, what kind of charge we will have here? Delta plus. Okay, so in the presence of an acid hydrogen attaches onto the oxygen, because in case of carbonyl carbon you will have clearly separated charge distribution over here. Delta minus will be over here. Okay, so on this carbonyl carbon, the proton gets attracted to this and then it will form a bond like this. Now this enolized hydroxy, because it is nucleophilic, it will attack the carbonyl carbon. This is more like an addition reaction. Okay, so upon this reaction, what is happening? The oxygen, because still proton is attached to this is protonated, and we have a hydroxy over here. So here what will happen? Dehydration is going to happen. So here proton distribution is happening. This proton is moving over here. The water will be eliminated. H2O plus is a very good leaving group. Good leaving group. Okay, so this is more like addition, elimination type of a reaction is happening, and further rearrangement, okay, readjustment of the bonds will happen to ultimately give you the furan. Okay, so this is the way how this is one of the oldest, almost it has almost 100 years history is there for Paul-Knorr synthesis, and this is the way how furan can be obtained. So this is our second reaction. So here for catalysis we can use paratolin sulfonic acid or mild acid is sufficient. Are you able to understand this concept? Are you able to understand Paul-Knorr synthesis? This is a very simple reaction. The next one is Fiest-Benary synthesis. So here, what is the strategy? 3+2 strategy. When we are breaking the molecule into two, okay, so when we have furan, okay, we always have to take R, R1, R2, R3 and R4. Let's say we wanted to break into 2, 1 and here. So this is 3+2. 3 atoms on this side, 2 atoms on the other side. So here we keep negative, here we keep positive, here we can keep positive or negative, here we keep negative, here we keep positive. Okay, so if this is so, we can have C double bond O and electron withdrawing group over here, electron withdrawing group. So when we have electron withdrawing group over here, the CH2 we have over here will become active methylene compound. So when we use basic environment outside, we can remove a proton from here. So thereby electron withdrawing group CH, C double bond O, R minus is produced, okay, in the presence of a base, and which is supported by keto-enol tautomerization that is possible through the double bond O that we have over here. So that is the story of the 3 part. What about the 2 part? Because here we have negative charge, on the other side what is it that we need? A positive charge, positively charged carbon. So here this is a very good example where carbonyl carbon, what we need is a carbon. Okay, so the carbon is bearing positive charge over here. So on the second carbon we are attaching a chlorine. So chlorine is electron withdrawing group because of its high electronegativity. So obviously this carbon will bear positive charge. Okay, so there will be no problem as far as reaction proceeding is concerned. So the moment you generate a carbanion over here, the next reaction is standard named reaction. You can see Claisen condensation or Claisen-Schmidt condensation reaction. They'll have similar kind of a mechanism. So once the carbanion is generated, this will attack the carbonyl carbon over here because we have delta positive over here. So thereby we are making a CC bond. A CC bond. As I told you, CC bonds are formed via addition type of reactions. So here that is what is happening. And then following that, what is happening? A series of reactions that are going to happen to ultimately give you the furan. Ultimately give you the furan. Okay. So here that is the way how first part is over. Then enolization will happen over here. So to explain this reaction easily, we have double bond O, CH3 and some electron withdrawing group over here, OH and chlorine. Okay, so focus on this side, focus on this side. So it becomes enol, it becomes enol. we have different substituents here and there. We have halogen. This is a nucleophile and this is also a nucleophile. Okay, both are nucleophiles. Outside environment is basic nature. So this looks like ROH plus RCl in the presence of strong base. What you are going to get? ROR, ether formation. So that is what is happening over here. Ether formation is happening, and after this dehydration, so removal of this hydroxy group will ultimately give you the furan molecule. Okay, so are you able to understand this concept? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Are you able to understand what I am saying? That is my question. The next one is a little bit extension to our thinking. Okay, so earlier, what is it that we are keeping? Negative and here positive charge. So earlier, what did we keep? We keep here negative charge, here also negative charge. So on the other side, we can use halides where triphenyl phosphine, when it is connected to a carbon, the carbon shall become positively charged. So from here, a proton can be eliminated in the presence of a strong base like sodium hydride. So negative charge can be generated. Now this negative charge can attack positive charge of the carbonyl carbon, and ether is formed. The double bond, whatever we have, across that OH will attack over here. So thereby it is forming an ether bond, and the negative charge that is generated over here will attack the carbonyl carbon. So ultimately you are going to get a furan. This is one of the relevant example, but and in another way, okay, we can also generate the furan by using another example. So here, what is it that we have? R C double bond O CH2 C triple bond N. So on this carbon we have positive charge, on this carbon we have positive charge. Okay, here delta positive, here also delta positive. Then what is needed to join everything? The carbonyl carbon over here will go into enolization. So here enolization is happening. They are using a simple hydroxycarboxylic acid to form the ether bond first, and then we have here carboxylic acid, which is actually electron withdrawing group. As I told you, cyanide contains C triple bond and carbon has positive charge. So here OCH2, from this carbon we can eliminate one proton, so thereby it will become negatively charged. So it attacks the cyanide group C triple bond N. Okay, so when we add the carbon over here, so it will become C double bond NH C. Okay, it will be like this. This is an enamine. It gets stabilized. It gets stabilized as NH2 double bond C. Okay, so this type of bond. This is what is generated. So if you look at the kind of reactions that we have over here, okay, the designing reactions become very, very easy and highly flexible. So what are the reactions that we are using over here? We are largely dependent on ether bond formation and addition reactions like this, and also CC bond formation reactions. Nothing more than that. Hardly 10 or 15 different reactions can help you understand or construct any type of heterocyclic ring. And the next one is, it looks really tough. We cannot understand this. Okay, it looks like that. But I'll simplify this. You know this one, okay? You know this strategy where we have 1,4-diketo compound. Okay, so this is equal to OH double bond O. Okay, so these two are the same because they are simply enolized. So here we have OH. Here if you have OH, so if you dehydrate this bond, what will happen? C triple bond C. Here if you keep R dash, okay. So R, C triple bond C, CH2, C double bond O, R dash. Okay. 1 second. I will write it again. We know that carbonyl group at 1,4 position. Okay, 1,4 position can give you the required furan. Okay, then let's say here I'll write carbonyl carbon CH2 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 double bond O. Okay, so this is equal to OH double bond 1 2 double bond O CH3. So if you dehydrate this bond, what will happen? CH3. Okay, alkene is coming. CH2, C double bond O, CH3. It is like that. Okay, CH3. So here that is the way how they decipher obtaining the compound on this side. So here further we have OH here and OH here. We have C double bond O. We have a C double bond O over here. CH3, C triple bond C, C double bond COH, CH3. Okay. So here, if you dehydrate further, CH3, C triple bond C, C triple bond C, CH3. Okay. So how can you make at least? Okay. So in all V is needed. A double bond can be obtained. A double bond can be obtained by dehydration. So if you take CH3, C triple bond C, COH, COH, and CH3. So this will also give you a triple bond. So that is the thinking over here. Thinking over here. So that's the reason why an alkyne connected to 1,2-dihydroxy or glycols, upon heating in the presence of basic environment, you will get the corresponding furan. Okay, so friends, this is the way how synthesis of furans is designed. How many syntheses that we have seen? Paul Knorr synthesis, where so first one is from sugars. Okay, from xylose we got furfural. Second one is we can synthesize furans from 1,4-diketo compounds upon dehydration. Simple acid catalyzed dehydration. The third one is 3+2 strategy, where so here to give you ethyl acetate. Okay, I'll give you that. Ethyl acetoacetate. CH2, C double bond O, CH3. And then alpha halo ketone. Alpha halo ketone. Ethyl acetoacetate and alpha halo ketone can react with each other to give you corresponding substituted furans. CH3, COOET, and CH3. Okay, so this is it. Please remember these three synthetic protocols. The three more synthetic protocols that I have given you, that you will practice and you try to understand the logic. Anyway, I'll be posting this video on YouTube, so you can go back and then again refresh your knowledge on this concept. Okay. So with this, I conclude today's lecture. Thank you all. So friends, do you have any doubts regarding the subject that we had discussed today?